Hey folks, thanks for checking out this video. Robert the narrator here, and I'm going to do another episode in my series of NPCs of Peace the RPG, going through some of what I hope are the most interesting NPCs in the bestiary of my high fantasy tabletop role-playing game, Peace the RPG. And something I noticed after doing 5 of these episodes, there is an NPC level creature or NPC that I have not touched upon. One that is appropriate for the hero levels that are available in the basic edition of the game. I don't think that I have done a thug level NPC. So there are 6 NPC levels in the game. You have minion, thug, lieutenant, chief, boss, and overlord. And the thugs kind of fall in an interesting area. The minions are pretty self-explanatory. They are the mooks, the NPCs that you can generally throw a ton of them at the heroes in the game. And you have the lieutenant, which is the highest level NPC, maybe the second level players or heroes should encounter before they meet the boss. So thugs kind of fall in that weird area where they act as kind of maybe the lieutenants of the lieutenants. They are not as squishy as the minions. They're not as much of a threat as a lieutenant to first or second level hero. So they fall in a very interesting area. So the NPC that you see on the screen, the human Knight's Hand Operative, may be my favorite thug level NPC in the basic edition of the game. When I made the Knight's Hand Operative, I was clearly thinking about the ninja or assassins. And as you can tell from the screen, they have they have 10 attack points in their warfare, 6 in their influence, and 4 in their power. They have 16 hit points, and they wear light armor. For their job or what they do in the game, from the attributes, they have really great acrobatics at 6, good perception at 6. They're really strong, and they have really good thievery, as you probably would imagine. Now, as you move down to their abilities, they carry a spear, which is considered a melee and a thrown weapon. It does 12 damage. And on a 5 or 6 on the fate die of an attack with the spear, the target is poisoned and loses 5 hit points. And the spear can be thrown 14 squares, or what is that, 65 or so feet accurately. And they have throwing blades, which are also melee and thrown weapons. They do 11 damage. And then probably my favorite ability that they have is the coordinated tactics. So the Knight's Hand Operatives are really great at working together and protecting each other's backs. So once per round, if a successful melee or hand-to-hand damage check is made against an adjacent Knight's Hand Operative, the Knight's Hand Operative can cancel the damage. So basically what they do, if they have a comrade next to them and someone attacks with a melee or hand-to-hand weapon successfully, the Knight's Hand Operative can take their spear and block the attack. Coordinated tactics, I really, really love that ability. It really shows the Knight's Hand Operative ability to work together. They are humanoid. Their language, they speak blood speak and trade speak. So blood speak is the language of infernals in the setting. So they speak the language of demons and devils, and you'll find out very quickly why. They're driven to destroy life, and from the description, the Knight's Hand is the most dangerous organization of its size in the land of 6 peoples. The organization exists to obliterate the current world and bring about the reign of the infernal forces of darkness. It can trace its origins to the water caretaker tribes after the first portal wars. The Knight's Hand has successfully inserted operatives into the highest levels of authority in the Land of Six Peoples governments and has summoned Infernal Queen Almaka into the corporeal plane. So yeah, they are a very, very bad organization in the setting. And if you defeat them, the loot, each member will garner you 1d6 times 5 shards and a 1 conflict or scene worth of poison, because they like to work with poisons as assassins and foot soldiers. So you can, if you defeat them, you would be able to get a conflict or scenes worth of poison from among their equipment. So I really like the Knight's Hand operative. If you wanted an evil organization with assassins who are really great at working together, very great at hit and run tactics and assassinations, the Night Hand operative is the way to go. And the Infernal Queen Almaka that the organization has brought into the corporeal plane, the dimension, of course, that the setting of the game happens in. I was going to add her to the NPCs in the bestiary of the basic edition, but she is a very, very powerful chief level NPC, and generally first, second level heroes should really not come across chief level NPCs. You probably, unless you're really trying to make a point, or the heroes have really stumbled into a bad situation that they may have to retreat from, generally a first or second level hero shouldn't come across a chief level NPC. The chief level NPC is definitely the NPC that is in charge of the grand conspiracy or the final boss fight. The lieutenants and third level NPCs answer to them. So I didn't include her because I didn't think that a game master would get a lot of use out of a chief level NPC. I think the only chief level NPC in the basic edition of the game I already talked about is the Orc Chieftain. So yeah, if you're looking for well-coordinated assassin or skirmish type foot soldiers, the Knight's Hand operative I recommend very much. So that is the Knight's Hand operative, and thank you very much for checking out this video. And if you have not had an opportunity, in the description below, please check out the link to the basic edition of my high fantasy tabletop role-playing game, Peace the RPG, and see if you like it and tell me what you think about it. Thanks a lot. Talk to you later.